Hi, I'm Laura, and welcome to Heart Driven Tarot for this week's lesson in the cards of the tarot, continuing with the Suit of Swords. And today we're going to talk about that Five of Swords card. Again, the swords relate, and the air element relate to the mind, the intellect, thoughts, ideas, communication. And the number 5 is often associated with a time of instability, change, conflict. Things are instability, I would say, to me pops out as the most prominent association with the number 5. And in this image we see that there has been quite a bit of conflict. We see the stormy, jagged gray clouds. There's turbulent water. The water back there there's lots of dips in it, suggesting turbulence. And then we have these two individuals in retreat. One looks quite upset. And then we have this gloating individual who's in the foreground. He appears to have been the victor in this particular scenario. For me, the prominent colors that stand out are the pale blue sky, the jagged clouds, the stormy clouds, etc. And then this individual's green and red outfit. The green, the lime colored, and the red. Well, red to me always suggests passion. Green would suggest growth to me, but I don't know that he's grown from this experience, or maybe it is a growth experience. And of course the swords, two fallen swords. He's holding one, and then he's got two upright, but clearly he appears to be the victor in this situation. And so the things to look at are his expression. He appears to be gloating, perhaps, or maybe it's a well-earned victory. It all depends, again, on the question asked and where the card falls in the tarot spread. But clearly there's been some sort of fight and some sort of fray. And there's been clearly a winner and there are losers. And so when this card pops up, it suggests that type of scenario is either happening or has just happened, or again, depending on where it falls in the spread. So if this is if it comes up as a positive interpretation, it suggests to me that you have won the battle. You won a challenging battle because there was a lot of turbulence, and you prevailed in the situation. If, on the other hand, it's a negative interpretation, you may be one of these figures who is in sorrow, who's upset because they have lost the battle. So it could be either one of those, depending on whether it's positive or negative, how again it falls in the spread and in the questions you ask. If it appears reversed, it could suggest to me that yes, you've been through this battle, yes, it was difficult, or yes, you won, maybe it was challenging, but that scenario is on the way out. Or alternatively, if it's reversed, it could suggest that you've been having an internal battle. You've been going through different decision-making processes, or you're embroiled in different ways of how to handle something, or you don't know what to do in ultimately one way of thought prevails. So it's internal, or it could be that the battle is on, that now you're acknowledging that scenario is over with and you're ready to move on and forget about it from this point forward. Now, how you use this card to shine or to inspire your life, I would suggest that for me, these storm clouds, they're there, they look intimidating, but the storm never lasts. I mean, there's no storm that lasts forever. So it's on its way out. And so, yes, this could be a good card to use if you've been through a difficult situation. There was a lot of fighting, there was a lot of conflict, but now say, okay, even if you won or the other person won, it's over. It's on the way out. Now you can start to release it. Just let it go. Yes, acknowledge it. We always need to acknowledge the challenges in our life, but now is the time to let it go. And the relevant music selection that I found for this card. There were different ones, but the one I found that seemed to me to make the most sense is called Fight Song by Rachel Platten. And so I will include a link in the show notes about that. And then the relevant book, or the book I would recommend to go along with this card. I don't have it myself, but I do have other books by her. But the book is called, cleverly, and she's always very clever, this author, Sam Horn. It's called Tongue Fu. Yes, tongue, like your tongue, fu, she does lots of plays on words. She's really clever in that. Tongue Fu, How to Deflect, Disarm, and Diffuse Any Verbal Conflict. And of course, as I said earlier, and in all these lessons, the swords can relate to communications, to verbal conflicts, etc. So this definitely could have been, wouldn't necessarily be a physical fight, but definitely could have been a verbal fight, verbal battle. So that book, Tongue Fu, I strongly recommend. I haven't read all of it, and I don't own it, but I have other books by Sam Horn, and she's very clever. She's an excellent presenter. I met her in person many years ago in Washington, D.C. at a dinner. It was the National Speakers Association. I was attending as a guest because I was considering joining that association. And she's just a clever, warm individual, very creative, very creative. So check that book out if you haven't heard of it and you feel like you could use some support in handling verbal battles more effectively. So that's what goes along with the Five of Swords. I hope this lesson has been helpful for you. If you've not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. And until next time, remember, illumine your mind, inspire your life with tarot.